friends, I'm Heidi with Heavenly Minded Home, and we have been putting out a video every single day this year. Oh my gosh, it has been so much fun. And today right here, this is day 100. So grab something, sit down, come hang out with me, and we are going to do 100 questions plus watch till the end because I have a very special something that I personally sat down and designed to share for free with you all here today. So come hang out with me, get to know with me, kind of kick off this day 100 of our vlog 365 and get that very special goodie. Let's go. I'm so glad y'all are here to hang out with me today. You guys are fantastic. And I just have to say, we've been doing this whole YouTube vlog thing, just sharing and relational ministry and all of this for over 5 years now. We have seen growth this year that has just been crazy. We hit 500,000 views the other day, and I posted on our community tab, which you guys can go check out. We post things over there all the time, but it just really stood out to me that our prayer has been that this channel here, Heavenly Minded Home, this ministry between what we do here, between the co-op, between the homeschool stuff we have planned coming out, all the different things, like our prayer is that it will grow. And it will grow and grow and grow and grow, right? You guys will love this. It will be helpful and encouraging. You'll share it. You'll interact, all of that great stuff. But we want it to grow because it growing means that we're reaching and connecting and building this community with other like-minded believers that are like, yes, like I want to grow in my walk with the Lord. Like I want to have fellowship of like-minded believers that see the importance of discipleship and the family unit and living for Christ and being heavenly minded and, having our children and training them up and all of that wonderful, wonderful stuff. Like that's why we want to see it grow, because we want to see this community grow. And so just having you guys here is such a huge blessing here. Day 100, stuff coming out every day. It has been so much fun. And I'm just so thankful because you guys are what make all of this happen. And so we've got some really exciting stuff coming out, coming up. Lots of things we're praying over. People we're connecting with, a team that we're building, like all of this wonderful stuff. So if you guys would like to keep us in prayer and just pray that this ministry will continue to grow to the glory of God, that we're reaching people, that it's making a difference, it's a true encouragement, all of that, like we would love your prayers. So I'm going to share with you guys what I have made that I am so excited to share with you all. I'll share that at the end, but first, I thought it would be fun to do a little get to know me. We have a lot of new faces around here, and there's lots of things, right? If I'm on here yakking at everybody every single day, maybe it would be fun, right? We're friends. I got my cup of coffee here. We can kind of sit down and chit chat a little bit together. You can get to know me if you want to leave some of your answers down below. Always feel free to comment along, and then I will share my cool goodie with you all. First, let's get to know me a little bit. All right, 100 questions. Let's do this thing. Question number 1, are you a morning or night person? I feel like I'm definitely a morning person. I love waking up early in the morning. Unfortunately, 50% of my family are night people and 50% of my family are morning people. So if I like being up early and doing all of this stuff, but my husband likes staying up late and like having time together then, and the kids stay up later because they do that, whatever, I feel like I become then just like the permanently exhausted pigeon, right? Have you seen those memes? But definitely I would be a morning person. Are you afraid of the dark? No, I would say I'm totally not. There are black bear in the area over closer toward the lake, not really so much where we are. So we've never seen one, and I don't think we ever will, but I feel like there's still that little thing that goes in my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't be a bear. I don't think it is, but am I afraid of the dark? No, not at all. Are you an extrovert or an introvert? I think I would probably be an extrovert, which anybody who's watching for a while, you're probably assuming that. Yeah, I think I have my times where like, I think I just get like burnt out, like it's too much. And I just kind of like, can it just be quiet and like nobody bother me for a minute type of a thing. But I think that's normal. I would be an extrovert. Are you double jointed? No, Not at all. I have nothing cool like that. My daughter has Ehlers-Danlos and she can bend and move and do all kinds of crazy things. And it makes me hurt just watching it. I cannot do anything, anything cool like that at all. Are you left or right-handed? I am right-handed. My husband and one of our daughters are left-handed. All the rest of us, we're a bunch of righties. Right-hand dominant, totally. Are you more of a tidy person or a messy one? Definitely tidy. Mess, clutter stresses me out. It really does. That does not mean that I am without bad habits, okay? For some reason, putting my clothes away is like the hardest task in the entire world for me. I don't get why, but it is. Also, I have a minimalist capsule wardrobe because for me, I'm like, I know there's certain areas that I really do a horrible job at, even though I'm the one who hates clutter and mess. Like I know I do a bad job keeping up on that. So my answer is I'd rather just super, be minimal on it. And then at least I don't have a lot to deal with. But yes, I would be the tidy one in our house. Are you on time or always late? On time. I think it's because, Mom, I'm so sorry, but growing up, my mom was always late, always. And in fairness, she was a single mom, 3 kids. My brothers were twins. She had a lot on her plate. Like, I get it. We would go in and we had a clock in our bathroom for her getting ready. And I would go in and like set it forward, but like without her knowing. So like she would think, whatever. And she was always late. My aunt and uncle would always joke they'd have us up for family dinner. And it was like, all right, we're going to tell your mom dinner's at 5 p.m. sharp. We'll be ready by 6:30, and then we'd roll in at like 7. So I try to always be totally on time, if not a little early. I think especially owning our own business and having things like that where like I want people to trust me with their business. And so I want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can. I'm, if something has happened and I'm going to be late, I'm going to be very clear with you. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but this has happened. I'm an on-time person. Are you ticklish? Yes. And I hate it. I hate it immensely. And so I have a very strict do not tickle me rule that I can't think of the last time somebody tried to tickle me because I get very cranky about it. So can you curl your tongue? Yes, I can. I can do the one where it's like a burrito. But I can't do the one, the ones that the kids would do in school. These are just fun questions, right? Like who would think of this? I can't do the cool one where, people, they make it where it's like ridges, almost like those scoop like chips. You know what I'm talking about? Or am I crazy here? But like those scoop chips and the kids in school, they would make their tongue real weird. I can't do that, but I can roll it. Can you ice skate? I could the last time I did it as a child, like, 20 something years ago. I'm sure if you gave me a minute, I could figure it out. We would go ice skating quite frequently and I always loved it. And if we would have had an ice skating place closer to us that like wasn't such a trip, when I was a kid, I was like, I want to take lessons. Like, I want to do this. Like, this would be so cool. But we never had anything close enough. And, there went that. So can you wiggle your ears? No, not at all. Can't wiggle my nose, can't wiggle my ears. Hopefully that's not a question coming up here soon, but I can't do it. I'm not that cool. Coffee or tea? I do have a cup of coffee every morning with my super keto creamer in it, but I love tea. Never tea that's sweetened, like it unsweet across the board, but I love tea, lots of different teas. I usually have a cup of coffee in the morning. Summertimes I'll switch over to just drinking tea in the morning and then I'll drink hot tea, cold tea, kind of whatever. Cookies, cakes, or donuts? Wow. I've been on the carnivore diet for a while now, so thank you very much. I feel like, I don't know if I could pick just one, if I had to pick a cookie, cake, or a donut. I do like donuts. I love a good bundt cake or something. Walmart used to make, which you guys, Walmart bakery, if you haven't tried it in a while, like it is not what it used to be. They used to have this raspberry bundt cake with like a white chocolate ganache on top. It was to die for. It was so, so good. And then they discontinued it and it doesn't exist anymore. And I've been mad about it for like 2 years now. But I guess if I had to pick cookie, cake, or donut, and like that's the cake I could pick, that's the cake I would pick because it's so good. Did you ever participate in a talent show? No. The thought of that sounds awful to me. absolutely awful. I hate stuff like that. I was in a couple school plays, and even then I was like, can I just be like a tree in the background? Like, I do not want to do this. I think I don't like the feeling, which is funny that I do stuff like this, but like, I don't like the feeling of being put up on a stage and being made to feel vulnerable. Like, what if they think I'm awful? I don't know. Like, I don't like the idea of a talent show. So trying to compete in something like my talent's the best talent just sounds awful, because I also don't really have any talents. So I don't know what I would do. So yeah, no, I never did a talent show. The thought of a talent show sounds awful to me. Did you go to prom? So, funny story. My husband and I got together when I was 14, he was 17. And so we dated. A year later, I did go to his senior prom with him. So I went to his senior prom. But then when I was 17, we got married, and we got married, just us, my mom and brothers. We drove out to Vegas, got married. I was pregnant, we did the whole thing. And we the next year did a vow renewal, so our family could be there and see it, since obviously we kind of just ran off in the middle of the day and got married on like a Wednesday. We had a ceremony so everybody could be there. And the date of our wedding ceremony, we picked the first Saturday, closest to our actual anniversary. We did our vow renewal ceremony, and that was actually the date of my senior prom. I graduated high school early, so I wasn't really in school anymore. I could care less about prom, but the ceremony was on the date of our prom. And so my friends came, we did an early afternoon ceremony. My friends came and were a part of the wedding, but then they popped into the reception and then had to head out because they were all going and heading off to prom while we were finishing up our wedding. So kind of funny. Did you like school? I love learning. I could be a perpetual student. If college wasn't so expensive, I would take classes all the time just because I love learning. I think that's why I do love doing curriculum and putting stuff together. I love the access to education today. I love it. I graduated high school early, even homeschooled myself through my senior year with having our son. I started college right away. I'm actually not really a believer in college, but I'm a believer in learning. And I hated school for the fact of the other people in school. I thought all the kids I went to school with were pretty much just, I don't know, they were kids, and I've always kind of been an old person. And so I hated the screwing around. I hated the cliques. I hated the game of school that people play. And I wasn't there to just make friends and be a silly, goofy kid. I don't know. So I like school. I like learning. But I didn't like being trapped in the game, especially of high school. So I totally took it upon myself and was I'm going to graduate early. I'm going to head out. I'm going to go do all of this because I like learning. I like doing all of that. I was AP honors, all the things, but I didn't like the kid aspect of school. I feel like that sounds awful to say. Do you believe in ghosts? I believe in demons. I believe in spirits. All of that is completely biblical, and yes, absolutely active. Ghosts in the way that the world believes in ghosts? No, absolutely not. Do demonic powers, we know, biblically we're told that spiritual world is more real than our real world that we see. And do they do things to trick people and deceive people? Yes, absolutely. Satan doesn't know the future. He doesn't know any of that, but he knows the past, right? That he has seen, because he's here and right, he sees things. So do I believe that Satan absolutely deceives people through, ghosts and it being someone and whatever? Yes, absolutely. But it's all just demonic activity. Do you bite your nails? No, never. And that drives me crazy. I'm why on earth do people bite their nails, especially girls? I'm don't do that. That's awful. I have nail biting children. And I was what is wrong with you? How do you do that? Just don't do that. You want pretty hands. Don't bite your nails up. And so I'm constantly going around with kids, fingers in your mouth, don't do that, don't do that. So no, I'm not a nail biter. Kind of stresses me out. I'm why do you do that? Oh my gosh, don't do that. If you bite your nails, I'm so sorry. I'm oh my gosh, don't do that. You're going to mess up your nails. I don't know. I get weird about it. Do you consider yourself a good cook? Yes, I think I am a good cook. I was trained by my aunt, who was an amazing cook, she baked, she cooked, she did everything, and she was wonderful, and she taught me all the things. And I wish she was still here today and we could do stuff together. We used to share recipes and talk about stuff. I don't cook as often as I kind of wish I could. I think part of it is just the season of life. We're busy, we have a lot going on, and my kids are still a little too young that they're in the phase of like, they don't really like to eat many things. So a lot of times I'm like, I'm not gonna put a bunch of work and effort into cooking all of this stuff if like nobody's gonna eat it. But we have things that, you know, like I said, we do a carnivore diet, and so different things. I love making things from scratch, and I love doing all of that. And I think I do. I'm not saying I'm the best in the whole wide world or anything like that, but going to culinary school was actually something I really wanted to do. I've taken a lot of classes, really thought about doing that. It kind of was always one of those things that, you know, me opening up some sort of like bake shop or doing something was always like yeah, that's totally gonna happen. It obviously never did, but yes, it is something that I really do enjoy. Do you enjoy dancing? No. I think part of it is my husband doesn't like it at all. And again, we've been together since I was 14 years old. So that was like, we went to a couple dances, but like, I don't remember ever really dancing. I think we just sat there because he didn't like dancing. And so we just never did it. And so I've never really like done that. Do I do goofy, ridiculous dancing around the house that totally embarrasses all of my children? Yes, that I do. Don't know if you've ever seen it. The kids made fun of me because they said, Mom, you dance like the crab rave. And I said, what is the crab rave? I don't know what you're talking about. So then they showed it to me and we laughed hysterically because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I do look like the crabs, like doing their little dance on crab rave, which you'll have to look up now if you don't know what I'm talking about. So now I purposefully will like get super crab rave looking in my stuff, and the kids hate it and I love it. And then they're like, Mom, seriously. And then the other day we were walking into the store, it was my husband and my daughters, and they said something and I was like, oh, you want to see embarrassing? I'll get embarrassing. And I started doing like the crab rave moves walking into the store, and even my husband was like, oh my gosh, stop, I do not know her. That's my dancing story. Do you enjoy DIY or crafts? Yes, I do. I love DIY everything. I feel like I used to do more of that type of stuff. I love scrapbooking, I love painting things, I love doing all this stuff and building things, where I feel like now like there's a lot of things I do like, but then like the practicality of like having time to just devote to that for funsies doesn't really exist. Yeah, definitely DIY. Do you forgive easily? If you ask my husband, he would say yes, too easily, because I am a very, it's done, it's happened, I forgive you, it's out of my head, I don't even remember it. It's gone. And then I usually open myself up to get hurt really quickly, very soon. And my husband's like, do you not remember what they just did to you? And I'm like, oh no, I just let it go. It's a good thing, it is. But, you know, something that I've had to learn sometimes, like, oh, maybe, you know, not that I don't forgive, but, you know, forgiveness doesn't mean you have to put yourself right back in the same position to get punched again. But yes, I definitely am someone who forgives easily, quickly, and wholeheartedly. If I've forgiven you, I've forgiven you. It's done deal. Like, I don't even think about it anymore. So yeah, totally do. Do you have a nickname? My middle name is Nicole, and my mom has called me by my middle name basically my whole life. I knew that I was in trouble and something was really bad if she used my first name. If my first name came out, I was like, oh snap. Like, this isn't good. This is really bad, because I always get Nicole. Nicole was definitely what I got for a long time. Do you have any allergies? No, not really. I don't have any. I'm noticing my body, since doing carnivore and stripping out a lot of stuff, I'm noticing that processed wheat, which is just inflammatory for all of our bodies across the board, all of us. But with my PCOS, any processed wheat, it's because all the junk that's in it and all the whatever, but really upsets my PCOS. So there's definitely a lot of intolerance there. It's a good thing I don't have a lot of allergies though, because it's almost like I have an allergy to Benadryl. I cannot take Benadryl. I take something like that and I am like done for, game over. Like, I can't do it. So no allergies for me. Do you have any phobias? No. I'm really not afraid of anything. And I've talked about this. We've talked about different things. I mean, there's things I don't like, things I'm not afraid of. Like, we have these little centipede, like house centipedes here, and they totally skeeve me out. All their little legs, ugh, I hate it. But I still jump up to kill it. Like, it's not like I'm like terrified of it. But I don't really think I'm afraid of anything. certainly not afraid of death. I mean, like, I don't want to see my children hurt. I don't want to see someone tortured, you know, like, I mean, but that's like a normal, but like, as far as like a phobia or like something that really freaks me out or works me up, I don't know. I feel like I should have some answer, but I don't. I'm not afraid of any, like, and certainly not like a phobia of something. Do you have any piercings or tattoos? I had my belly button pierced a long time ago, but I took that out when I had my first kid, and then I never put it back in because I was like, I don't think that's a thing. I pierced my nose when Travis was little, and I sometimes wear just a tiny little stud right in here. I like it. I just honestly don't think about putting it in all the time. My ears were pierced when I was a tiny baby, that I got my ears pierced. But that's it. My husband is covered in tattoos. And so he got his first tattoo on his 18th birthday, went to the tattoo shop, and then he like lived in a tattoo shop for years after that. And so all of our friends kind of expected as soon as I hit 18, like I would just be covered in tattoos too. So it's not that I'm against tattoos or like, I'm going to sit here and say that, you know, there's some people that believe that having a tattoo is like sinful and you've destroyed the temple and all of that. Which I find kind of funny because in Revelation, Jesus comes up and he has his name written on his thigh. And I'm like, is that a tattoo? I don't know. I'm not saying it is, but I just think it's kind of funny that I'm like, it's kind of weird. Your name written on your thigh. But not against tattoos. Don't have anything about it. I think there's a right and a wrong reason to have one. I don't have any, and I probably never will, just because I would always overthink it and get way too like obsessed with it having to be perfect, and there's no way for something to be perfect for forever, so probably not. Anyways, do I have children? Yeah, 4 of them. I medically decided to have my tubes tied when we had our 4th Olivia, just because we were having many complications in my last couple pregnancies. I've had to have C-section. My first child was a horrible traumatic experience, ended up in an emergency C-section. I was scheduled C-sections ever since. If we had the ability to adopt children right now, today, yes, please. I would love to have more kids. I hate being pregnant. Honestly, I wasn't a person who enjoyed it. I hate it. I don't like the way I feel during pregnancy, but if I could have more kids in a heartbeat, please. Like if the Lord opens that door and we can bring in babies, like absolutely all day. Do you have pets? I have more pets than y'all would probably care to hear about. I love animals. I want a farm. I want just like a hobby farm that I enjoy and have fun. We have 6 cats, 5 dogs, 2 chickens. That's what we have right now. So, do I have any siblings? Yes, I told you I've got the 2 brothers there. I also have a half brother that I have met only once, and I have 3 girls that my dad, he never did marry their mom. They were together for a long time. They were like our stepsisters, and I would still completely qualify them as that, and they're precious and I love them. Do you prefer dogs or cats? Dogs totally over cats. Do you prefer Mac or PC? I always was PC. That's just what I always knew. And just recently ended up getting a Mac for the editing capabilities and just doing all of this stuff now. And I wouldn't say that I've like, oh my gosh, PC, how could you? But if you have the money to get Mac, it really is a much smoother, much quicker, much simpler system than PC. It's just stupid expensive. Like it's crazy. But do you prefer the beach or the mountains? Mountains, totally. I do love the beach. Don't get me wrong. I love being at the beach. I don't really like being in the ocean, but I like being at the beach. But up here in the mountains, like that would always be home. As a kid growing up in the desert, I always dreamed of being someone who like lived in the mountains. We'd go visit and I'm like, you guys get to live here all the time. Are you so excited? And you know, people were just always like, okay, weird kid. But if I could always be in the mountains, done deal. Do you prefer to take a bath or shower? Shower all the way. I think baths are disgusting. So not a bath person. Never really have been. Tried a couple times to like be a person who wanted to sit in a bath. No. If I had a jacuzzi or a hot tub or something, sure, I'll hang out in there a little bit. But I don't like baths and I think they're yucky and I don't get it. For people, that's their thing. Like, that's awesome. Go you. I don't get it. Shower all the way. Do you sing in the shower? No, no. I do take my phone, prop it up on a high shelf, and will turn on either a sermon, or if I'm doing my Bible study or whatever it is, I will play stuff. So like stuff's playing. I also don't take very long showers. So like, it's not like I'm in there for very long. You're not gonna hear me singing in the shower though. Do you smoke? No. Kind of did socially for a while in my like 17, 18, 19. We also partied a lot. So I think it just kind of like, yeah, sure, while we're here. But no, I think smoking is gross. Especially for girls, I don't know. I think there's something that's just like, cigarettes are so gross anyways, like they smell awful, like whatever. And I feel like there's some things that are very feminine and we as women should be. I mean, not that I'm saying like we have to be dainty little debutantes and we can't do anything, but I think there's some things that are just very masculine, and why would we as girls want to do them? My brothers make fun of me because you guys are all probably thinking I'm crazy right now, but I think there's certain things that are ladylike and things that aren't ladylike. And smoking, not only is it horribly unhealthy and just disgusting in general, it's a really bad habit. I understand people do it. I get it. Like, if you have a bad habit, you have a bad habit. We all have them. Like, I'm not trying to beat anybody up, but I just think some things are very unladylike, and I think smoking is very unladylike. And so it never was a thing that like I wanted to do. Anyways, do you speak any different languages? No. I took Spanish for years and come from Southern California, which is essentially northern Mexico. I know enough Spanish to like order my food and know when I'm being cursed out. I don't remember hardly anything from all those years of taking Spanish though. I do know a little tiny bit of Hebrew, very poorly, things that we've learned with our kids. I got stopped real quick and I topped up my coffee. So yeah, we taught the kids a little bit of Hebrew. I know a few scriptures I can say in Hebrew, but yeah, I don't know any other languages. Do you still have your wisdom teeth? Nope. They were completely impacted. All four growing in sideways, literally pushing all of my teeth caused me crazy, crazy pain. I had to have parts of my jaw literally dug out to remove my wisdom teeth. It was awful. Do you still watch cartoons? We watched Star Wars, so we did watch the cartoon series of that. There are maybe some things that we watch. Even our youngest really isn't a big cartoon person, so not really. Do you or have you played any sports? I did soccer, I did tennis, I did volleyball, badminton, but that was it. I didn't do it for long. We enjoy racing, we enjoy UFC, we enjoy baseball, go Dodgers. That's kind of it. We're not really big sports people. Does your name have a special meaning? Oh yeah, I always had a sign. Noble and kind is what Heidi means. Noble and kind. Have you ever been hospitalized? Just every time I have a kid, but that's it. Have you ever been on a diet? I have only ever done something because I'm more concerned about my way of eating, like life, like total health. I'm not one for like crash diets or whatever. It's like, oh, like whole eating, like the whole body. So I eat on more of like a carnivore ketovore diet now because I'm finding that that's the best thing for my body, but I'm not a big like dieter. Have you ever been to a concert? Yes, we love concerts. We love concerts immensely. If our whole family could be like homeschooling groupies with like Madashahu or something, we totally would. We've actually talked about it with him and he was like, dude, that's a great idea. We love going to concerts. Yes, my husband and I, our first concert we went to was Bare Naked Ladies and the Proclaimers, and then we got to meet the Proclaimers, and that was pretty cool. We've been to many, many concerts and it's our favorite. We haven't been in a long time and I wish we could. Have you ever gone camping? Yes, we went camping all the time as kids in the Sierra Nevadas and Redwoods and all kinds of places all around California. Loved camping. Unfortunately, I get eaten alive by mosquitoes though, so camping isn't usually very nice to me, but I do love it and haven't gone in a million years. Have you ever met any celebrities? Actually, we have. We've met quite a few celebrities. We also spent a lot of time at the Auto Club Speedway Fontana racetrack doing race stuff. And so, of course, all the celebrities would come to that. That's where we met Lindsay Lohan, Wilmer Valderrama, Jason Lee. We've met Andy Garcia. We've met Reba McEntire. We went to some tapings of TV shows. We used to do that. We met different people that way. We've met, lots of big names when it comes to like racing. I'm trying to think, is there anybody else like interesting that we've met? I don't know. We have met quite a few people though, which has always been, I don't know. I mean, they're just people, but it's kind of fun when you're like, oh wow, like Lindsay Lohan has the prettiest hair I've ever seen. Holy cow. Her hair is so pretty. And then she kind of like awkwardly hit on my husband for a while, like about his tattoos, and it got kind of weird. And we're like, I'm just going to go this way. But that was kind of fun. Oh, we saw Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was funny. He's very tiny. He's not very big. It's kind of a weird one. Have you ever skipped class? Yes, I'm sorry, Mom, but we have. We went to a Christian school, and my mom even taught at said Christian school, and they were so, like, nobody paid attention to anything at that school. It was a mess, but you could literally just walk off that campus. And so one of the kids, his house was literally like right there next to it. And so we'd go over there and like play video games and stuff and hang out and then just like come back before class was over. So we did that quite a bit. Because you could, like, you could just walk right over there and like, hey, we'll go play video games and then like come back and finish up what we have to. So I did that sometimes. Have you ever won something? I won some awards with our floral design, getting good reviews, stuff like that. I always got like honor roll, perfect attendance. I always got things like that. I think I won some like other little whatever awards. Yeah, I don't know. I've won some things, but I guess nothing like too crazy exciting. Have you had braces? No. I always wished I could have braces or a retainer or something, and I had nothing. Never. I would even like pull on my teeth like, maybe this will do it. Nothing. How are you feeling right now? Kind of nervous that I still have a lot of questions to go, and this video is like 20 minutes long, so I'm hoping you're not completely bored with hanging out with me. That's how I'm feeling right now. How tall are you? 5'7". That's me. If money were no object, what would you get for your next birthday? A house. I want a home that's my own, that isn't falling apart, that I don't have to worry about losing. It can be tiny. It could be a shed that I turn into a house. It doesn't have to be literally anything fancy. I would love nothing more. I mean, I don't even have a car, but I would pass up not having a car to just have a home that works, that isn't constantly falling apart, that isn't going to go anywhere. That's what I would buy if money were no object and I could get something for myself for my birthday. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? Honestly, if I got to pick, it would be even further west into the mountains of North Carolina, like raw, untouched land, like small town, you know, whatever. Like if I could do that, I would. My mom is in Tennessee though, so I wouldn't want, like that would make us too far from getting to go see her unless I could get her to come pack up and come with us. If we can move her and her husband out there, like that would be the dream. But I would love, there's, when you go a little further west into like Cherokee land of Western North Carolina, it just gets to die for gorgeous. And if I could go out there, that's where I would go. Unless of course it would be something amazing, like we would live in, you know, Europe or, you know, something that just seems so dreamy and cool, but realistically that would be it. Were you ever a scout or a brownie? Yes, I did Girl Scouts from daisies, brownies, like I did it all the way up till the very end until really in high school. It's like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm kind of getting over this. But yeah, I did Girl Scouts. My mom and my aunt led our troop and I did all the Girl Scout things for all the years. Holy cow. Yes. What city were you born in? Apple Valley, California. That's where I was born, a little desert town, middle of nowhere. It's actually kind of been built up now and it's actually like not too bad out there anymore. It used to be nothing, but now there's quite a bit out there. What did you last eat? We've had company over, we were doing stuff, so our diet's been all out of whack, and we had some leftover cheesecake, and I knew today I needed to get myself like back on track because I'm not feeling very good. So last night I said, you know what? If I have to get back on track tomorrow anyways, I'm eating cheesecake tonight. So I sat down, I ate a piece of cheesecake at like 11 o'clock last night while I edited a video. That was the last thing I've eaten. What did you want to be when you were younger? Very much a marine biologist. We used to go to SeaWorld all the time, and marine biologist, live on the beach. I was gonna like design my house, live on the beach, and be a marine biologist. That would be like the one thing I really remember. What do you do on a typical Friday night? Every night we sit down with our kids and we watch TV, and every Friday night the kids go, ooh, can we watch one more episode or watch something a little bit longer? And I go, guys, come on, it's bedtime. And without fail, my husband goes, it's Friday night. And I go, really? We're homeschooled, we work from home. Like the day of the week does not matter to our family. But still, every time my husband will go, it's Friday, let him watch another one. And so we watch an extra episode and the kids stay up a little late. What is one food that you refuse to eat? Sushi. Oh my gosh, I went on this business thing once and my boss, who was weird, I actually ended up in a sexual harassment lawsuit with him, but he was like, here, we're eating sushi, and he ordered me all this stuff. But it was this business meeting that I felt like I couldn't refuse. And so I was like, okay. And so I tried it and it was so awful. I must have drank like 15 teas while we were there because I kept asking for more to drink. And the stuff I ate, I kind of like swallowed whole. So like I got it down. I remember getting back to the office and running into the bathroom and feeling like I was just going to die. I was so sick. I would never, ever, ever touch it ever again in my life. It was awful. What is one item on your bucket list? To travel more. I would love to like RV around the country with our kids. That would be a total bucket list dream. I would love to travel around Europe. Our family is very Scottish. I would love to go and have a big family trip and like go to Scotland and learn more about our heritage. I would love to build our own home. I mean, I don't care if it's like a shed that we build into a home, like, but just being able to do, I think that would be so cool. But most importantly, I want to raise my kids and I want to see my kids grow up and love the Lord. Like that's what I want to do. Like that's my goal in life. What is one item you can't live without? I mean, not like necessity, you know, obviously water, you know, but something I can't live without. Chapstick and lotion. Moisturizer. Like I hate the feeling of like, maybe it's because I'm from the desert, like the feeling of like your skin being dried out. So like I'm not going anywhere. I don't care about makeup. I don't care about anything. Like I want to have moisture. I don't want my skin to feel like dried out or my lips to get cracked or something like that. So probably some sort of something like that. What is your shoe size? Oh, cool. We're going into all the insecurities. I was so insecure about this as a child. I wear a woman's size 9. I don't think it's that crazy, but I have felt my entire life like I have the biggest feet in the entire world, and my family was always ruthless about making fun of me for this. My dad, my uncles, my brothers, they would say the most awful things, and so I always had the hugest complex, wouldn't wear sandals, would never take my shoes off, like I was so freaked out. I loved big bell bottoms that would like cover my whole foot because I was so freaked out about my shoe size. And it wasn't until becoming an adult and like getting out that I'm like, forget it. Now I live in flip flops, but I used to be so stressed out about it. And I'm like, I'm almost 6 feet tall. Like, I don't think having a size 9 shoe is like the most crazy thing in the world, but I will say that it would be something I would still kind of be self-conscious about. I'm just older now and don't really care. But yeah, anyways. We don't want to talk about that anymore. What movie have you watched repeatedly? Like the first time I watched Forrest Gump when I was a kid, I loved it so much. I watched it 7 times in a row. I know all of Forrest Gump by heart. I could recite to you so many different movies that we used to watch repeatedly. Now, the only thing that I've watched more than once lately is we're like re-going through all the Star Wars movies again with our kids because we don't watch many things. Our family loves Nacho Libre more than anything else in the world, and our family watches Nacho on a normal basis. My kids can connect a Nacho line to anything that happens ever, and that would probably be the movie that I have watched on repeat the most lately. Not really because of like my own doing, but my kids, like they can just recite the whole movie to you. It's crazy. What phone do you have, Apple or Android? I've always had Android. I actually love the Google Pixel. It was fantastic. We had to upgrade though, and I ended up switching to Apple because of something I'm doing with my dad and other stuff. Like I think it was going to be a better fit to do that. And I needed a new phone anyways. I actually really love my Apple phone. I really do like the new one, and the camera is phenomenal, so it's got me sold. What should you be doing right now? I'm trying to probably go through these questions quicker so you guys aren't stuck here with me for so long, but thank you so much for hanging out with me. Like, I hope you're having fun. What should I be doing right now? Probably just going out and hanging out with the kids. Everybody's kind of relaxing and curled up out there. What's one goal you would like to accomplish this year? I would like to really grow the work that we're doing and grow the subscriber count, our collective, the different things so that we could actually pay our bills with the work that we do. We put so much work into this with all the things that we do, but it doesn't, you know, it's growing and we see the Lord working. We believe in it. So that's why we keep doing it, even though we make like no money. But if my like advertisement money and stuff like that, just people signing up for the collective and different things that we do, like if we could actually pay our bills, which we've whittled down to very, very small, if we could financially support ourselves off of the work we do, that would be like a goal that I would love to accomplish this year. What is one of your pet peeves? Just people that aren't responsible for themselves. Like people that just kind of like leave everything everywhere and it's always someone else's thing, and they just kind of like, you know, don't take that initiative to like, not like be a bull in a china shop, but like take that initiative to be responsible for themselves. I cannot comprehend for the life of me, and it makes me insane. The last song you've listened to, it would have been something. Okay, it was Modest Yahoo in the car when we were going to lunch with friends yesterday. And then on my playlist, or you know how it just like auto makes you a playlist, it started playing Counting Crows, Mr. Jones. And we all kind of chuckled because we were listening to Modest Yahoo, and then it went to Counting Crows, and we're like, that's kind of a weird, like, next up in the list. But that would have been the last song I listened to. What's the most expensive item of clothing that you own? Ooh. Clothing is not a good one to ask me because everything I own comes from a thrift store. So probably the most expensive item of clothing I have would be my jeans, because I bought them from Walmart instead of a thrift store. That would be the most expensive thing. What's the thing you can't leave the house without? My cell phone. My husband would say my cell phone because the thought of me being out and about not having my phone like freaks him out. I would say more for me, like if I left it, I left it. And I'd be like, whatever. I only grab it because I know he'd have a heart attack. My wedding ring. I hate. If I happen to run out somewhere without a wedding ring on, I feel very uncomfortable and I don't like it. So that would be my one thing that like, nope. I mean, I've left before without even having real shoes on, and then I get to a place and I'm like, oh, I went to speech therapy once in like my house shoes, and I got there and I was like, I just realized I didn't put on real shoes, but I had my wedding ring, so I was good. What's your best physical feature? I don't know. I don't know. I think that's kind of a shallow question. What's something you are dreading doing? I mean, I've got some like real hard family stuff with my dad I'm having to address. I'm literally having to dredge up like all my years of childhood trauma, and like, it's a good thing. It's going to be a good thing that we're finally having to face all of this, but like the process of doing it is awful and I don't like it at all, but it needs to happen. I understand that. The thing I'm really dreading doing is we've had a leak for a long time now coming out of our shower that we found in the basement. And so I just put a bucket under it, but it wasn't that bad. Something has happened and it's gotten worse. So we have like 2 buckets under it, but it needs to be addressed and figured out. And I'm going to have to do that with my brother, and I don't want to. So we just keep emptying the bucket. I know that's not, but it's where we're at. What's your current obsession? Getting our lives figured out. Not that like, I feel like I'm obsessed with it in an unhealthy way, but I'm obsessed with it in the way of like, I feel God moving and doing things, and like, it's time to move to that next step. But I don't want the integrity or the value or the focus or anything like that to be compromised. And so making sure that like it happens in God's timing and God's way, like bringing in new people and doing it like that it stays what it's supposed to be. But I think something big's getting ready to happen for our ministry, and I want to make sure it's done right. And it's not my vision or my goal, but the Lord's will. And so being very, very prayerful about that. What's your dream car? Right now, any car that would be reliable and hold our whole family, because we don't have a car. I'm using my mom's, which we're so thankful for, but our whole family doesn't fit in it, and you know, whatever. So really any car at this point would be amazing. I love electric cars. I love watching specs. I watch tech videos all the time. So like a Rivian, the Kia EV6, the new EV9, like I just love stuff like that. Tesla, of course. I just love geeking out over the electric cars. So like if I was just picking something crazy for me, I would totally do something like that. Favorite animal, a horse by far. I wish we could have horses again. I had them as a kid for a while and I would love to have a horse. Favorite book. I'm somebody who wishes I would read more, but honestly, I don't. The Bible, obviously. But as far as like a book outside of that, I don't know. I like biographies, nonfiction all the way. I like learning. So if it's a book about learning something or a biography of someone, autobiography, then you have my attention. Fiction or other stuff out of that, you've lost me. My favorite color. I would say white, black or white, but I do like pinks, greens, more neutral things, nothing too flashy and obnoxious. Favorite dessert? I never ate cheesecake my entire life because I swore I didn't like it. Yes, I'm that person who's like, nope, don't like it. Had cheesecake finally as an adult a few years ago. My husband forced me to try it, and it is by far my favorite now. My favorite drink, water, sparkling water, even plain unflavored. I like coffee. I do like wine. I like champagne. I don't drink much of it, but I like it. Favorite food, Mexican or steak? If you've got steak or you've got Mexican food, I'm there. Favorite foreign food, I guess would be Mexican, because I've never really tried any other foreign foods. I mean, I like a little bit of Italian, a little bit whatever, but that's it. My favorite gadget, probably my robotic vacuum. My robotic vacuum that empties itself, yes, or my watch. I do love having a smart watch. I use it all the time, and then I don't feel the need to keep my phone on me all the time. I like my watch. My favorite hobby would probably be creating stuff, like doing this channel, making things, designing stuff. I like gardening. I love floral design. I miss floral design. I like being busy, like having things to do. I don't like sitting. Favorite movie? I don't think I could pick a favorite movie. I have many movies that I love. Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility. You know, I like historical pieces. I like comedies. I just feel like most movies now are filled with so much trash. Like, yeah, maybe I used to love that movie, but I'm not gonna watch it. Favorite restaurant? Probably steakhouse. Longhorn Steakhouse. Outback is good. I do like, Mexican restaurants. We have a good one here. They're actually from where we're from in California. So it's good Mexican food, because Mexican food in the South is really difficult to find. Favorite sandwich, probably a club, something with a lot of meat, bacon, anything like that we can put in. Hot ham and Swiss, that's something I like too. Favorite season, I guess if I had to pick one favorite, it would be fall, but I just love living out here that I get all 4 seasons very distinctly. Coming from the desert, you don't get that. And so I love all 4 seasons, and I appreciate what each season brings. But if I had to pick one, it would probably be fall. My favorite series, Star Wars. We're big Star Wars fans. Definitely big Office fans, although there's certain parts that we're like, obviously we skip right over, but we love The Office. We used to, watch it, and we'll watch it over, and, just kind of, so I love Family Affair, one of our favorite shows, the Dick Van Dyke Show, totally one of my favorites. We love Little House on the Prairie. I love, what was that other show? Green Acres. We love Green Acres, and Petticoat Junction, which came before it. So older stuff, yeah. As far as modern stuff, the only thing we would even say that we've watched anytime recent would probably be The Office. We love Alaska, The Last Frontier. That's kind of a fun one. I don't think I watch anything else. Favorite snack? I love salt and vinegar chips. I will eat them until the lining of my mouth falls out. They're not good for you, so I detox myself, and I don't let myself eat them because I will not eat them in moderation. I love to snack on cheese and salami. I just take a piece of cheese and a piece of salami, wrap it up. That's a great snack. I love Claussen pickles. Those are good things. Favorite sport to watch, auto racing or baseball now with my husband. We do a lot of baseball. Favorite thing to have for breakfast would be bacon and eggs. We've been doing that pretty much every morning for a really long time now, and now I really like it. I'm not actually really a big egg person, but I like having bacon and eggs now. My full name, Heidi Nicole Garcia. Maiden name was White, W-I-G-H-T, and yes, you have to spell it out every time you tell someone what your name is, because otherwise they will spell it wrong. What's the longest relationship you've had so far? That would be with my husband. We got together when I was 14. We have been a couple now. Let's see, we got together in 2020, the January of 2021. So we're now in 23. We've been together for almost 22 and a half years, and married for nearly 19. It'll be 19 years of marriage next month. My lucky number, I don't believe in lucky numbers, but my husband and I, we got together on January 12th. We ended up getting married on May 12th. Our son was almost born on September 12th. Our daughter was born on November 12th. Our first phone number we ever got to our first house was 0120. Not like kidding. So if we have to pick a number for something, our number is always going to be 12. What's the next thing you're looking forward to doing? I moved a bunch of furniture and we're setting up a new office for my husband, and I want to get it all put together because we are going to start our podcast. Heavenly Minded Home has a podcast, the one that my husband actually forgot we had together. Yeah, we're starting that and we're bringing in a new host and we're getting ready. I'm like, guys, we're recording. I'm getting his office put together. We're getting recorded. We're getting back to podcasting. I'm so excited about that. So keep an eye out for that. That's would be what I'm most excited about. My birthday is December 10th. I was born in 1986. Which city did you grow up in? I grew up in Yucca Valley, California, which was middle of nowhere, absolutely nothing. And the fact that Joshua Tree and that whole area is like so built up and so such the thing now cracks me up, because we always had celebrities that came out there, because they would come out to Palm Springs, but then we were even outside of Palm Springs. So then like people started coming up there, like Cyndi Lauper lives up there, Dick Dale lives out there, you know, all these different people lived out there. So you'd be like, oh, okay, that's cool. But now that it's so popular, it cracks me up, because I'm like, this really, of all places? Kind of funny. What city do I live in now? Now I live just outside of Asheville, North Carolina. So we're like 40 minutes. We're just like down the mountain from Asheville, and it's beautiful out here. We love it. Who do you miss right now? I have really been missing. My uncle came to visit me, my great uncle, the other day, and him and his wife are like second parents to me. They're so important. And my aunt suddenly passed a few years ago, and I miss them immensely. And visiting him made me just miss her even more. And it's hard. Who is your celebrity crush? You know what I think is so funny about that question is I feel like we have been so out of touch with even who celebrities are today that like I probably couldn't even list people to you that like are still like relevant people. But I've never been somebody who has crushes. I'm just not. Like I remember having the posters because everybody else did. You get Tiger Beat and like have posters you'd hang up. But like I don't remember ever genuinely like having a crush on someone. I mean, there's people and you're like, oh, okay. I mean, obviously that's like a handsome looking individual or a pretty, you know, person, but I'm not a crush person. And then last question, favorite TikTok trend that you've actually tried? This one, I'm telling y'all, my daughter told me about it. I thought she was crazy. And I was like, there's no way. And then she did it. And then I was like, oh my gosh, and I'm obsessed. And I'm making our whole household do it. You put on conditioner first, let it soak in, wash my face, whatever. Then you rinse out the conditioner and you shampoo your hair at the end. Our hair is all so light and fluffy, and it's not frizzy, and it's so soft. Like it's visibly different. Like I see it in our girls. I'm like obsessed now. And apparently it's a TikTok trend. I didn't know that. She saw like a YouTube short or whatever. But yeah, where you reverse clean your hair. We do the conditioner first and then the shampoo. If you haven't done it, I'm telling you, look it up and do it. It's phenomenal. That has been 100 questions, you guys. Holy schmoly, guys, we did it. We made it through 100 questions, here to celebrate our 100th day of vlogging. So hopefully you've had a little fun, got to kick back and relax and hang out with me and listen along. Yes, we've got podcasts that are going to be coming out. We got so many things I cannot wait to share with you guys this week. So be sure to subscribe and tap the little bell, do all the little cool things so you can come back each day and see what we have going on. But the thing, you made it through all of that. The thing I want to make sure to give you is I started designing my own planner a few years ago and put it out, you know, for sale for people to get if somebody was looking for a planner. Something that was focused, that had the biblical holy days, right? That was scriptural, that, you know, we even do it from God's year of Passover to Passover, that had space to plan your homeschool stuff and your homemaking things and all of that. And so I made one this year for myself that was themed off of the biblical womanhood traits, because this summer will be our 5th year of studying biblical womanhood together. I cannot wait. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter down in the description so you get all these details as we're getting ready for that. But I made this planner. It's all themed with biblical womanhood. It's got like pretty, you know, like watercolor, you know, type images in it. It's from Passover to Passover, this year to next. And it's got, you know, one of the biblical womanhood traits every single month. And then for your inserts, there's all kinds of things. There's different ways to do daily planning, weekly planning, budget planning, keep track of medical appointments, a gratitude journal and prayer spot. There's all kinds of things there. And I want to put that out for you all today. So there's a link down below that you guys can go get that. I'm just going to give it to you. if you want to leave me a little something to help out the ministry, that we can keep growing and making more things and bringing out more people and putting more stuff together, again, resources to serve you and families like you all around the world. If you want to leave us a little something, that's amazing, and we would forever appreciate that. If you just want to share it with all your friends and be like, hey, you need to come check this channel out and get their free planner, you can do that too. That would be amazing. We trust that God will use this to be a blessing to you all and then to us, that we can continue to be doing ministry. So that is the big thing. It's all put together. I'm so excited. You guys will get a link and you can kind of see everything down there, and you can, get instructions of how to do it and all the fun stuff. You'll get that video down in the description, but head over, get our Heavenly Minded Home Planner, special stuff for homemakers, special stuff for homeschoolers, and everything in between. So you guys go ahead, get yours, pick that up, share it with your groups and friends and all the things that you do. Again, everything there has the biblical holy days. It's got all of the traits of biblical womanhood, but it also has really, really practical things so that we can keep our lives together, because a little bit of organization can go a long ways when we're trying to juggle all of the life things. So that's what I've made. That's what I put together for myself. And that's what I have here to share for you and your friends and family as well. So share that with everyone. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I'm going to go finish my coffee before it gets completely cold here. If you guys want a little something extra to watch while you're, putting together your planner and doing all of your stuff, YouTube thinks you'd like this video up here. You can check that out. Subscribe before you head out, and I will see you guys right back here tomorrow. Day 101. We're in the hundreds. Let's do it. Bye, friends.